Hey everybody, Wing Rider. Messing around with different settings on the GoPro. If you would comment, I've got it on a wide angle, obviously. Most moto vloggers, they use a wide angle. Narrow angle or medium angle is probably be better for in the distance. Things wouldn't be blurry in the distance, because when I'm filming, give me just a second here. When I'm filming and it's a wide angle and I see something off in the distance, it's like, hey, look at that. Only when they go back to look at the video, you can't see it. It's a blur. So I thought about going to a medium angle, and I might try a video doing that just to see what it looks like. But then there's the setting 1080p or 960, and 1080 is like 2 hours and 45 minutes worth, and then 960 is 4 hours and 15, I think, something like that. But then there's like 30 frames a minute or 60. I usually keep mine on 1080 and then 60. I try to get the best resolution I can on a wide angle. But if it were a little bit clearer, the lens is so small that on a wide angle, things in the distance you just can't see very well. They're kind of out of focus. Well, not out of focus, but it's like somebody's on the other side of the outside knocking on your door, and you look at them through the peephole. You know what I mean. Anyway, get out of the road, little squirrel! Run, little squirrel! Run! Little squirrel in the road there. But anyway, I'm just, beautiful day. The temperature is about 65. It's a Wednesday, about 10 o'clock, and I thought I'd go over and check on a friend that's not doing that great. He's at home, and go by somewhere and get some lunch later and then go home. There's always stuff to do out there on the farm, so not where I live at. But I ride when I can, because I love to ride. I've got the 2012 Gold Wing. But this KLR, man, I can't get enough of this thing. I like it a lot. So I'm going to go down what used to be a dirt road along the river, with Withlacoochee River. They paved it late last year, which it's pretty cool. I mean, it's all right. On a dual purpose, you don't really worry. You know, if it's pavement, it's pavement. If it's dirt, it's dirt. If it's a trail, it's a trail. I tell you though, for a single cylinder thumper, this KLR 650, it has got plenty of power. The only modifications, this one, when I found it, it had 925 miles on it about 8 months ago, and perfect garage kept. I mean, beautiful bike. I had to clean the fuel tank and the carburetor, but other than that, change the oil in it, filter. But other than that, I took it to a Kawasaki dealer. There was still a recall where they put new turn signals on it, because it needed the new turn signals on it. The old ones had, the rubber had deteriorated. But it didn't cost me a dime, because it was still under recall even 10 years later. Now it has 2,202 miles on it. And the only changes on it, the previous owner, he was a older fella that wanted a dual sport, mostly on the highway, so he put a 15-tooth sprocket, or excuse me, he changed the front sprocket to 16-tooth where it was a 15, and that drops the RPMs down. Say at 70 miles per hour, you're at 4,500 RPMs instead of 5,000. but yet it's still really great going slow on the trail. So I didn't change that. I like it because I do a lot of riding on the road and dirt roads, and not a lot of trail riding anymore. I used to do I used to race enduro and motocross back in the early 80s, but long time ago. But this is the new paved road. It used to be all dirt road. I remember every weekend on Saturday nights, my cousins and I, we would come down to the Withlacoochee River. There was a place called Coffee Shoals. It was a tradition for like 5 years we did this. Camping down there every Saturday night, if you call it camping. I had a 69 Chevrolet pickup, my first one. 307 V8 2-barrel carburetor, 3-speed standard transmission on the shift, column shift. I bought a brand new 8-track tape player. That tells you how old I am. Mounted it under the dash, got 2 cheap speakers, put them behind the seat above the fuel tank, because on this one the gas tank was behind the seat. And I had a Leonard Skinner 8-track tape, and I'd play Sweet Home Alabama and all that, you know, and driving down this dirt road toward Coffee Shoals in the river. We'd usually meet up down there around 11 o'clock, midnight, go to Lake Park to the omelet shop, which is a Waffle House now, eat breakfast, come back, mess around till about 3 or 4 o'clock, go to sleep in the truck beds or in the truck or whatever, and build a fire, and next morning go home and sleep all day on Sunday. But that's the way we used to do it. I wouldn't mind doing that now, but I'm the only retired one in the bunch, and everybody else is out of shape or still working. Or if I would be lucky enough, like Jeremy Rides channel, this is a guy in Vermont, Jeremy Rides is his YouTube channel, RHYDES. He's got a couple of friends, Mike and Travis, and they're all about the same age. I guess they're in their early 30s, and they're really lucky. They're 3 of the coolest guys on YouTube, and they ride the motorcycles, KLRs, and snowmobiles in the winter, and camp together and do a lot of stuff, and it's a lot of fun. I do most of the stuff by myself because everybody else, like I say, is working or retired or messing with the kids or grandkids or something. Here I am, 55, and feel like I'm 25. Look like I'm about 40. Retired. I retired early because I got into law enforcement, state highway patrol, and started early and retired early, and now it's time to live. But most of this stuff I'm by myself. It sucks sometimes. One of my old girlfriends, well, she's not really an ex-girlfriend, we just kind of drifted apart because she spends so much time, she's still working and spends time with her kids and grandkids, and I hadn't seen her in a while. We talk on Facebook, but she recently sent me a picture of a Honda Shadow 750 Aero that she really would like to buy, and I thought, buy it. We'll go on some trips together. She was a deputy sheriff for a while. Now she's a school bus driver. And in the summer, though, she's out of school. And I thought, you know, how cool would it be for us to take a trip cross country? We did it a couple years ago on the Goldwing, but she was on the back, in the back seat, and I hooked the trailer to it, and we had a great time. But how cool would it be if she was on her bike? Because she can ride. And we went on a trip. The only problem is I want to go and take off for a month, and she can only go for about a week, 2 weeks at the most. But anyway, I'm going to kill this one before it gets to 20 minutes because it loops, and I hate it when it does that. But anyway, it does that. But just comment and give me some ideas. You know, what's the best as far as moto vloggers? You set your camera on a wide view, but do you use 1080 or 960 or 30 frames per minute, 60? I mean, how do you do it? Just let me know, and I'll mess around and see how to get the best picture quality. I think it's on the wide view at 1080. the 60 frames per minute is the way I've got mine set up. Right now it's on 960 or 980. No, it's on 960 at 60 frames per minute. I'm going to try that and then go back to 1080 and see which is the better one. But let me know what you do or how you set up yours. But I'm coming up on my friend's house, so I'm going to kill this one and he's lives way back here like the boondocks, and I mean he's back here, man. Oh, but anyway, let me kill this one and we'll talk to you shortly.